Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Richard Neal. This is Random Street Theater, and I just happened to have watched Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. This is part of an ongoing, it's been several years that I've been trying to get through all these movies now. And of course, this is your latest, or an old 80s era, 1988, I believe, Jason Voorhees movie. They're playing a little fast and loose with time in the plot of this movie. In the beginning of this movie, it shows that in the end of the last movie, good old Jason was trapped at the bottom of Crystal Lake by a rock attached to him via a chain around his neck. And we are introduced to a new monster, I guess, in the hero, which is a woman named Tiffany, who happens to be a telekinetic. Okay? And you know she's a telekinetic from the very beginning, because just after you're done with Jason's origin story, you get her origin story, which is her dad hit her mom, and she got pissed off at her dad, and stuck him in Crystal Lake with her telekinetic powers. We then flash forward, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, I'm not sure. She is a young, but legal buxom beauty, and she is returning to Crystal Lake with her therapist to examine her psychokinetic powers and hopefully bring some kind of a closure to her abilities, where she unwittingly unleashes Jason upon the world once again. And if you are a fan of the Friday the 13th franchise, this is Jason at his cheesy, gory best. He is a giant, beefy, yet skeletal monster who slowly stalks his prey, yet no matter how fast they run, they can't get away. And he seems to know a lot about where his victims are and can, basically teleport from place to place in a bizarrely cheesy manner, allowing him to be wherever he needs to be to take down his next victim, despite the fact he just can't seem to move very fast. Now, again, slasher films are by their nature Freudian, and what you have in this movie is a essentially eunuch, ugly monster going and penetrating the young and vibrant with a surrogate phallus or phalluses like knives and axes and such. And, you've got a lot of very 80s people with their big hair and their bright clothing, and you have a fair amount of nudity. It's a couple of attractive women show you their bodies in this particular film, and moreover, this is one of the films that is noted for Jason Voorhees' imagination when it comes to deadly weapons. Yeah, this is the one where a kazoo or a kazoo or whatever it's called is used in a manner that would definitely violate its terms of use, and probably makes it look a lot more sturdy than it is, really. So yeah, look, if you are an 80s gore fanatic, which I am, this is a great movie for you. It definitely earns its hard R with blood, violence, and nudity. It is a kind of silly story, really. You've got people screaming in the woods and nobody realizing anything is wrong, and even in the end there, when they think, oh well, we got him, but my mother is so, and it's like, okay, so there would still be the need for you to call the police, wouldn't there? You got dead bodies sitting around. That's what's going on there. Dead bodies sitting around, and you're not calling the police and dealing with it. So yeah, there's a lot of horror movie stupidity in this particular film. That's just kind of to be expected. But what has always been told to me is the primary centerpiece of this movie is that in this film, Jason is given a worthy opponent. He is given a woman who is not helpless, is not useless. She is scarred, she is damaged, just like he is, but in a different way. And she's, I'm not going to run from you. I'm going to come out here and smack the crap out of you. Which is one thing we do see a lot in these movies, where, of course, there's sort of that final stand at the end, but this is a very particularly strong fight at the end, and it is an extended backwards and forwards between the two of them. And of course, if she knew who she was dealing with, she'd probably be able to fight him a lot more effectively. But yeah, it works. You don't watch Friday the 13th movies for the sake of intelligence or good story. You watch them for blood, guts, and boobs, and that is what this movie delivers. So again, if you are a horror fanatic, this goes on your must-watch list. It is an excellent film in that regard. If you are not a horror fanatic, if you are a regular person who is not hugely into movies, you put this on your watch list. And you put this on your watch list in terms of you got some friends going to have a Friday the 13th party. It's October and you need something to see for Halloween. Excellent film for that. Okay. It is a solid slasher film that will leave you satisfied in most reasonable ways. Not a high piece of cinema, but an excellent film. Also, I remember in one documentary, they said that in every movie, practically there is a storm for Voorhees. That does not happen in this film. No, the weather is quite clear. I like the fact there's a lot of moss growing on the trees and such. It gives it sort of a craggy, Halloween dismal appearance, but not a lot of rain going on. So that guy lied. Someone on the internet lied to me. Go watch this movie. I'm Richard.
Greetings, capitalist pigs! cannot see the blood of my enemies Borgoth, reminding you to like and comment on this video. And you can find more of me on the Power Sister Horsies exclusively on Absurd TV. Directed by Mark Schaefert.